We've explored the mythology of Skinny Bob. The visceral, eerie weight of that footage is undeniable, and for over a decade, it captured the imagination of the internet. But to understand what we're actually looking at, we have to turn off the projector and turn on the floodlights. It's time to examine the digital seams. The entire illusion rests on a timeline that immediately collapses on itself. You have a purportedly highly classified Soviet intelligence reel from the 1940s, stamped with a Microsoft font that didn't exist until 2007. Yet for years, the sheer visual fidelity of the subject itself overpowered that contradiction. The lighting, the anatomy, the subtle micro-movements, it looked far too sophisticated, too expensive to be dismissed as a simple basement hoax. It created a modern mythology through sheer production value. Video forensics requires looking past the footage as a flat recording and treating it as a digital composite.
This involves a process of forensic subtraction, systematically identifying the post-production filters applied in 2011 and peeling them away to see the asset hiding underneath. By acting as digital archaeologists and stripping away those artificial barriers, the underlying asset is finally isolated. The raw data tells us exactly whether we are looking at a heavily doctored historical truth or a masterfully constructed digital fabrication. The most immediate layer of the illusion is the texture. The heavy scratches, the dust, and that rhythmic jitter, known as gateweave, are what initially sell the footage as an authentic mid-century documentary. But that specific damage pattern isn't organic chemical degradation. Researchers isolated the repeating loops and matched them exactly to a commercial, off-the-shelf stock filter called Boris FX Sapphire film damage. Then there's the branding. The video opens with a stark red and gold KGB insignia, designed to ground the leak in Cold War Soviet intelligence. That exact graphic was lifted frame for frame from a 1998 commercial television mockumentary called Secret KGB UFO Files, hosted by Roger Moore. The creator pasted digital black bars over the original broadcast text to make it look redacted. These two elements, the vintage film texture and the Soviet branding, are modern commercial assets used to build a specific atmosphere. They act as a digital disguise for the file itself. With the surface textures removed, the next inconsistencies appear in the user interface. An electronic timecode ticks at the bottom, meant to simulate a sterile archival cataloging system. This timeline visualizes the chronological impossibility on the screen. It maps the claimed origin of the footage in 1942 against the typography used for the timecode. The numbers are typed in Consolas, a digital typeface that Microsoft designed and released to the public in 2007. Beyond the typography, the camera work reveals an internal contradiction. The footage uses chaotic, handheld shake to simulate the urgency of a raw documentary recording. But optical physics dictates that if a physical camera is violently shaking, any lens flares generated inside the housing have to jump and dart erratically across the glass in response to that motion. This geometric overlay tracks the path of a faint lens flare found in the video. When analysts motion stabilize the footage to cancel out the shake, the flare tracked in a perfectly straight line, drifting smoothly across the scene. A linear lens flare mathematically proves the camera wasn't moving at all. The chaotic shake was applied in post-production, dragged and dropped over a completely static digital rendering. Stripping away the filters and the camera motion leaves us with the core subject, the physical movement of the alien itself, which initially appears floaty, slow, and distinctly otherworldly. Forensic imagers identified a massive temporal anomaly right on the screen. The VHS-style timer at the bottom of the video is running noticeably slow, not tracking real-time. This chart graphs the timecode against a real-time clock. Accelerated by exactly 150%, the lagging timer snaps into alignment. This speed correction shatters the alien illusion, transforming the floaty posture into rapid, standard human physics and kinetic momentum. The final biological impossibility is found in the eyes, specifically how the entity blinks. In organic biology, blinking contracts the surrounding ocular and facial muscles. Here we see temporal dyssynchronization. The eyelids blink at a completely different, higher frame rate than the rest of the scene. They slide down like flat digital plates over a static 3D mesh with zero surrounding muscle contraction. By correcting gravity and measuring internal frame rates, the biology of Skinny Bob is exposed. It is a rigged 3D model, draped in artificial temporal weight, making the mundane look alien. We now know what Skinny Bob looks like with the film grain washed away, the camera shake stabilized, and the playback speed forced back into reality. The forensic evidence entirely eliminates the possibility of a mid-century Soviet intelligence leak. What we have is a static, modern digital composite built in a 21st century workspace. Even without the vintage disguise to hide its imperfections, the underlying core asset remains incredibly impressive. The modeling, the lighting, and the textures represent a highly skilled, high-budget piece of digital artistry. The 150% speed correction doesn't just fix a timer, it reveals the human animator's hand pulling the strings, anchoring this extraterrestrial firmly to human physics. Uncovering these digital seams reframes the footage as a work of anonymous internet artistry, asking if the technical craftsmanship is ultimately more significant than the myth itself.